Good morning, friends. This is your news report and your Bitcoin update and your cryptocurrency update as of Friday, November 20th. So let's hop right on over here to our browser. So in terms of how many Bitcoin are there, we've still got about 2.45 million Bitcoin left to be mined. And so when we do talk about new Bitcoin, we usually talk about it coming from this pool. Keep in mind that the total number of Bitcoin can never exceed 21 million, and there are currently 18.5 million Bitcoin in circulation. On over to CoinGecko, we do see Bitcoin's price has increased by 14% on the week, Ethereum 9% on the week, XRP 22% on the week, and we're all positive on the day as well. Over to market dominance. So this is the Bitcoin market cap dominance as a percent. So this is what amount of people that have their money in crypto have it in Bitcoin. As you can see, we're up, still on an uptrend to up about 67%. This typically correlates with Bitcoin doing well. So as the trend increases, Bitcoin's price usually increases. And as we fall, Bitcoin's price usually falls as money flows from Bitcoin into other altcoins or is cashed out into fiat, such as the US dollar. So we do see an example of this here in 2017 when the market dominance of Bitcoin was just falling through the floor, and we then had the major correction at the end of 2017, early 2018. So we want to keep our eyes out for this one because we are entering a Bitcoin bull market. And so this will be a good indicator to see when it would be good to start taking some profits and pulling money off the table because Bitcoin may be falling soon. In terms of Bitcoin treasuries, we look at this because it's important to see what amount of money treasuries of publicly traded companies are keeping in Bitcoin to see adoption. And we do still see around 842,000 Bitcoin, which is currently valued around $15.5 billion. Hopping on over to cycle repeat, we do see that the high they are projecting is still around $435,000 per Bitcoin. This is above what most estimates are. If you've been here before, you know that I have talked about in all my research, it's mostly between $100,000 and $400,000. And a lot of people are projecting around 300 to 360, which I think is a fair value based on historical trends. So keep that in mind. They are also not projecting any drop anytime soon. So we've got until around January before the price starts falling. We are going to be looking at more information shortly. And I think it is very reasonable to expect a pullback sometime soon. But if you are investing for the long term, then it's still a good time to buy because you won't really care in the future if you buy now at 18,000 as opposed to yesterday at 17 if the price does go up to 300 or 400 as they are projecting. So hopping on over to the stock to flow model, we do still see the fair value of Bitcoin is leading the actual value with a fair value of $23,166.84 as of today, and the actual value as of close of yesterday at $17,818 for Bitcoin. So we are still undervalued. Keep that in mind, but do also remember that we should be expecting corrections of up to 40%, as in negative 40%. So don't invest if you're not willing to see that kind of stuff on your portfolio. Over to Bitcoin charts, we do see a huge amount of interest in selling now that Bitcoin is nearing all-time highs, and it kind of caps out at around that previous all-time high of 19.5 or 20K. So that is something to keep in mind, that once we do get up to this previous all-time high for Bitcoin, it is potential that we could experience a major pullback. We have talked about this before, and it's almost off the charts. It's so low, but there is a huge amount of buy interest and support at around the 13K level for Bitcoin. So I don't think we will be falling any lower than that, but that is still a big amount. 20 to 13 could be a major drop. In looking over at the trends and retail searches, this is the easiest indicator to kind of see how retail is getting involved. Another one is celebrities' use of Bitcoin and discussion online, as well as mainstream media reports and major news headlines. But this is the one that's quickest and easiest to do, and this is meant more for a beginner introduction daily report. So here we do see that the Bitcoin search interest is actually peaking out on the week over the past 12 months. So we may be seeing a little more retail interest involved. This probably indicates a local cap soon and a drop at some point, but this does not indicate a topping out of the current bull run. As you can see, the last major bull run we had was in 2017, when at the end you had these huge spikes in interest of Bitcoin. And so keeping an eye on this, we can kind of see when retail is getting involved. So right now we are at around, 14 interest. So this could be closer to that earlier spike where we've still got May to December, which is like a half a year, 7 or 8 months worth of time for the price to still climb. So keep that in mind, that even though we will potentially see negative 40%, negative 30%, or negative 20% corrections, we are still very bullish in the long term. Hopping on over to Juicy NFTs, we do see an NFT 24-hour volume of around 187,000, with Axie up at the top. Rarible was the major player for just general NFTs, such as things like art and collectibles. Axie is more of a digital gaming platform, which we've talked about before is one of the best places we could get major adoption. And the big barrier to parabolic growth for most of the cryptocurrencies and crypto space is that adoption factor. As more people adopt it, it'll be more heavily used and prices will go up. So over to DeFi Pulse, we do see that the total value locked is just eclipsing $14 billion. And we have been on a positive streak this entire year, with Maker still up at the top. Uniswap is gaining ground again, but they did lose about 60% of their value locked shortly after they ended their incentives program for adding liquidity to the system. This means if you stored your money on their system and let them use it similar to a bank, they would give you kind of an interest rate. And that was stopped, I think, on November 17th. And the next day, their locked value dropped by like 1.5 billion, which doesn't mean much for you, just that it might cost more to buy or exchange cryptos on their decentralized exchange platform. Over to our coronavirus dashboard, we do unfortunately see that we have an increase in confirmed COVID cases of over 250,000 again yesterday. This was the data as of Wednesday, November 18th, and we are now well over 11 million confirmed cases. We are still increasing at unfortunate rates, and we do still see pretty much the entire country is covered in red, which is uncontrolled growth. So stay safe out there. Take care. Please remember to wear a mask. Okay, on our news updates and reports, OKX, which is a exchange for cryptocurrencies, was having some problems and limited or ceased all withdrawals from their system. They are going to resume withdrawals at this point, and it is starting on November 27th. So if you have money stored on OKX, keep that in mind. You'll be able to get it off Finally, after over a month of not having access to your funds, it is important to talk about this because cryptocurrencies are such a new space and are very unregulated by traditional government and finance standards that this kind of thing can happen with fair levels of regularity. So you could lose all or some of your invested value. So keep that in mind if you do ever choose to invest in cryptocurrencies. So that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow. I would love it if you could check me out on some of my other social media platforms. I try to post useful and helpful information whenever I have it, so check me out over there. Please remember to stay safe and take care. Wear a mask if you're going out. The CDC has recommended that you limit travel for the holidays due to the coronavirus and are projecting that holiday gatherings are going to be super spreader events. So please do take care. I'm going to run my news report from TikTok so that you all get those updates from yesterday evening. These are your major news updates for Thursday, November 19th. The state of Georgia has completed their recount and confirmed that they went for Joe Biden. The CDC has recommended against travel for Thanksgiving. Many states are locking down due to the pandemic, and as of Tuesday, the US had over 11 million coronavirus cases. The Trump campaign is dropping their lawsuit in Michigan and has agreed to pay a $3 million fee to the state of Wisconsin for a recount. They have started a website and are fundraising for this fee because they have run out of money. Over 742,000 Americans have filed for first-time unemployment benefits in the past week, which is the first weekly increase. The government's plan to distribute the vaccine involves a 4-phased approach. Only 58% of Americans say they are willing to take the vaccine out of this administration. That's pretty much it for this report today. Thanks for watching.